All right. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a series on our hands. CLEM, representing Team Liquid in the bottom right side of the map. SERRAL for Basilisk in the top left. It is the biggest rivalry right now. It's one that has gone back and forth in nail-bitingly close series. And they're facing off again in another grand finals. It is, of course, the Bulgarian StarCraft League Stara Zagora grand finals. $10,000 on the line? Actually, I'm not sure what the prize pool is. It's a pretty good prize pool either way. I'm not sure what the difference is between first and second place. Many thousands of dollars, and of course the pride is on the line and everything else. Both players are already qualified for the Esports World Cup, so they aren't fighting for that spot, but of course fighting to settle this constant dispute between the two of them. Now, for those who don't know, SERRAL beat CLEM Pigfest 5, CLEM beat SERRAL Pigfest 6, and since then we've seen some kind of back and forth between the two. Both players, though, got dumpstered in Dallas in the round of 8 by different players. SERRAL fell to Classic, and CLEM fell to Shin. Two players that a lot of people might have thought, oh, maybe they could get to the top 4, but it'll be a long shot. And yet they actually took out 2 of the favorites to win the entire tournament. So it's kind of interesting to see, after that, where are these players at? Now, it looks like SERRAL here going for a pretty standard Hatchcast pool build as far as I can tell. Did that 15 Overlord. And it's a good idea because CLEM, as we can see, has gone for the 2 racks, but SERRAL not scouting it. Oh, playing very cautiously. That's interesting that he didn't poke in. I guess he's worried about losing his Overlord in case it is like a double Marine opening or something like that. But as it is, it's the 2 racks Reaper on the low ground. We'll be going for a command center here at about usually 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I used to love just dive the Overlord in, and if they build Marines, whatever, it dies. I just want to know, is it 2 racks? Is it 3 racks? Are you building a command center? And that is, of course, what SERRAL will start to find out now. He sees the low ground wall off, and he's going to go for a little poke in to have a scout. But he will get spotted by the depot. First Reaper arriving. Now, you don't want to have any early losses. SERRAL has had some series where he gets off to a flying start, and then still CLEM reversals it. I'd say CLEM comes in as the player who is still the favorite, winning their more recent match and having some absolutely dominant victories as well as amazing comebacks. I don't think SERRAL has a lot of amazing comebacks against CLEM. His dominant victories also, they don't feel inevitable. They're usually clever build orders, catching CLEM off guard, right? Whereas CLEM, it feels like just dancing in the multitasking and the micro, he can wear SERRAL down, and that gives him such a big favorite, such a big advantage as a series goes on, because SERRAL, he's essentially got to have a pre-planned trick. He's got to have some sort of, magic trick up his sleeve to get rid of CLEM and to dominate him. CLEM, if this is just a normal game, he is the incumbent favorite, incumbent world champion. Factory comes in, Tech Lab and Reactor, those 3 Reapers doing good damage, and the 3rd command center is on the way behind it. Denying the creep tumor, really nice, while he keeps SERRAL away from this 3rd base. SERRAL building lots of Overlords on just 2 hatcheries right now. He's only invested in 9 Zerglings, 4 more on the way, so 13 Zerglings, which is a kind of minimal amount. He doesn't want to overcommit to this response. On the other hand, 3 Reapers is not that many, and the fact that this 3rd base got delayed this long, I would say you're relatively happy with that as CLEM. SERRAL hiding his Roach Warren, and I think he is already thinking about going for a Ravager Ling. Big boy attack. Hellions will help defend the Lings, but Roach Ravager could be really powerful. That being said, it's going to be a Banshee. Banshee will shut down the Ravagers, given enough time to work. SERRAL, massive amount of supply free right now. He's going up to 30 free supply, saving his money for Roaches. He's going to try and build a bunch of Roaches and see what damage he can get done. Reapers, they're going to try and escape. Hellions are here. And look at that. Gets himself a couple of Zerglings. CLEM's so quick to turn from the hunter to the hunted and to start chasing SERRAL back to his side. Both Queens taking big damage. 6 Roaches are on the way. 2 Hellions and 3 Reapers finding damage. And the way the Reapers regenerate pairs them so nicely with these Queens, right? This is what I really love, is the ability to take little hits, but not actually taking that much direct damage. And the fact that there's only 2 Queens, CLEM should already be getting a bit suspicious. He sees the Roaches the moment they pop. Banshee's already here. He can throw down a bunker if he wants to. But does he even need to? He's going to have a Banshee out in a moment. SERRAL's completely all in. SERRAL looks rather desperate. CLEM confirms there are even more Roaches coming. Look at that. Trying to bully these Roaches. Wow, that's crazy. Quick Ravager Morph for SERRAL to try to heal up the weak one. Hellion Reaper Micro is pretty good. 1 Hellion does get surrounded. A really good micro bypassing this. Roaches will get dealt with by the Banshee. Zerglings are going to be really hard pressed to overwhelm the Hellion Reaper. Clem, though, has he gone too far? Maybe. Oh, another Hellion and a few Reapers getting surrounded here. Roach's starting to work on that wall off. Roach's pulling to the right side away from the Banshee to heal those. Very cute micro by SERRAL, but their Hellions are such a problem. And look at that. He repairs the depot with the supply drop, giving it 100 extra bonus hit points as well. Amazing plays for Clem. The Ravagers are mostly gone. There's only a few Ravagers and Lings left over. Can he bust in? Engineering Bay behind at the last second. Dude, this is a masterclass by Clem right now. He hasn't even lost any workers yet. Finally, he has to pull those workers to the front, but the Banshee taking out the Ravager. SCVs could wall off the front potentially. Hellions are dying as they pop though. The worker kills starting to come in. Dude, did Clem underestimate this? Clem! He should have walled off earlier. Oh no! I mean, he had the Banshees. All he had to do was buy time. He just needed to build an extra building earlier. He was defending so flawlessly, but then he got greedy. He thought, this is shut down. This is not doing enough damage, and now it is doing some damage. Is it enough though? Wrestling inside. If he can clear this natural, that's going to be a game changer. Stim taking damage. Stim's down in 8 seconds. I don't think those Lings can kill it in time. Lings are in the main, but look at that Hellion positioning. Hellion's in the choke point. Lings going after the SCVs. Ravager's going to try and do a big bile. Gets another SCV. But look at that. SCVs are going to defend the Zerglings. 29 workers do go down. Lings take out the tech lab, but only after Stim's done. Reactors are very vulnerable targets. Those cannot run away. SERRAL needs to drone up. He's building a lair. He's making more queens. The Massling has not stopped, though. He's going to go into that main base one more time. Are there any Hellions left? No, there is not. These Lings should keep going, dude. 3 Banshees going to put a timer on this. Oh, look at that Ling micro. So fantastically well done. SERRAL still dancing around the front. If he can lure these Banshees out of position, there is no wall off right now. This barracks needs to lift off to secure the wall. Lings find another SCV. And SERRAL is still massing Zerglings. He can go. He can run in right now before the wall's up. He's still massing Lings. Oh, he's going to go Queen Ling Nidus with the Overseers. Oh, look at that. The wall's not up. Doesn't need to wait for it. He can surround the Marines, and then he can split some Lings into that main. A few Lings in the natural would be nice, but he can always rally into the natural Carney. SCV is going to try to hide in the corner, and these Zerglings just ravaging. Clem trying frantically to stack those SCVs so he can one-shot those Zerglings. The Lings will wrap around the right side, but more Lings already arriving on the front, and Clem, he's got to be so regretful of the fact that he didn't take this seriously. He saw it move out, and he just never built a bunker. He didn't build a bunker. He didn't do an emergency wall-off until the first layer of wall-off died. He didn't pull SCVs until after doing the emergency repair, the emergency drop. And that really tells me that Clem, because he scouted it so early, he got cocky. This feels to me like how I lose against these all-ins as a Terran. Then again, the supply, not that crazy, but how do you deal with that? Mass Queen Overseer in the main base. There might not be that many Zerglings, but I think this wall of Queens is basically unstoppable. Banshees are the main unit here, and the Queens hard counter those Banshees. A few Marines and Hellions not going to be enough either. You could even click things like the command center here. Just anything you can get surface area on is enough. It's so weird. This is such an experience I'm used to having on the ladder of going, oh yeah, I've got this under control. I don't need more defense. And it's like, dude, he's all in. Why was there no bunker? Why was there no wall off? Overconfidence for Clem. He thought, I spotted this so early, but you have to remember, whenever you have a natural wall-off, this wall-off is so vulnerable, as opposed to being up on this high ground where you have this tiny ramp to defend. It's just always a bit more exposed. And skipping the bunker, skipping the engineering bay wall-off until the very last second, a bit too greedy. Also, maybe should have pulled the Hellions to the inside of the wall earlier, because once the Hellions get separated, they can't fight the Zerglings. They're getting zoned out by the Roaches. Really good job by SERRAL, keeping those Hellions away. Really impressive play by him. GG, well played. SERRAL takes game 1. I think the early game was a disaster for SERRAL. So to win a game after a really bad early game, like getting scouted the moment you move out and stuff, this is really, really sick for him to take this map. All right. Well, that did not look like an inspired all-in at all, but you got to admire commitment when your back's up against the wall, and you got to admire it even more when it works. SERRAL in the top right side for Basilisk goes to that extractor trick to get out an early 15th drone. And of course, Clem in the bottom side going to go for, once again, the low ground wall-off really far forward with this depot as well. Maybe he does the wall-off with barracks there, barracks here. Because if he goes barracks here, his add-ons are really exposed on the outside. Anyways, let's talk about this 15 Overlord. Someone was asking me the other day, they're like, what's the reason for 15 Overlord compared to 13 Overlord? Like, why not just do the old 13 Overlord? Like, what is the difference? The difference is you built 2 drones way earlier. Think about it this way. If you are going to build an Overlord on 13, you stop at 13 drones, and you have to save up 100 minerals to start the Overlord. Instead, you can put that 100 minerals into 2 drones. Now, obviously, it's 125 minerals because you need to build the extractor as well. But think about how much faster those 2 drones are. So rather than sitting on 13 workers, waiting for that 100 minerals, and then starting an Overlord, and then with the next 50 minerals starting your 14th drone, you're squeezing those 2 early drones out incredibly fast. Now, obviously, it slows down the follow-up, but once you've got 15 workers on minerals, you're basically fully saturated anyway. So you're speed running saturating the mineral line, and it's just being calculated to put you a few minerals ahead. It's not a huge difference, but it does put you just a couple minerals ahead, allows you to squeeze in the hatchery a little bit earlier, the spawning pool a little bit earlier because of that early mining. And that, of course, is really nice. Earlier hatchery, early pool, earlier gas. Earlier queens are out to defend, earlier zerglings. It just makes everything smoother. The early lava injects as well. So it's just a very slight optimization compared to 13 Overlord. Oh, and another point. Scarlet's in the chat. I love having the expert advice. You also float lava if you wait for the 13 Overlord. It's about, I think, 3 seconds where you end up on 3 lava. I'm not sure the exact... It's about 3 seconds or 5 seconds where because your hatchery's at 3... supply, 3 lava, it doesn't produce anymore. Your hatchery only naturally produces lava when there's less than 3. You can still stack lava, but only with lava injects beyond that. Quick third hatchery. Now we've seen this is a really clever adjustment Shin did recently as well. Basically saying don't even give you a chance to block it. And I think after the last game, where it was just a 2-Rex Reaper, SERRAL saying, yeah, let's not end up with such a delayed third. That was too awkward. Unlikely these Reapers are going to want to give up doing direct damage and go attack a hatchery, right? 3 Reapers into a Marine. Overlord comes in, sees the factory timing. That's a pretty quick factory, so it's a very useful scout. Now, Marines can hunt you down. As SERRAL, he's going to have to head straight left. Reapers hanging out in the front. 2 queens are there. Ling's looking to sneak out on the map, unable to get out. SERRAL, he's going to have to choose a direction. Either go south or go north. You're going to die either way. You only want 1 Marine to be shooting you. You can see, there we go. Does go left, kind of achieves the same goal. Survives a little bit longer. The Reaper's going to dive in, though. Oh, my. Queens split up right now. There's only 2 queens on this map. Uh-oh. Oh, these Reapers, slippery. He greased him up. I did not realize Groundskeeper Willie got given a jetpack and 2 P45 Gauss pistols, but apparently he did. Because they got greased right up, slid through that base. But at the end of the day, 2 drones for a Reaper. You've got a 3rd queen out now as SERRAL. Your 3rd hatchery's finished. This is a much smoother start than that last game where he overreacted. Ooh, nice snipe. Denying the creep tumor. Reaper's back inside the main. And notice he's got a faster Hellion Banshee coming in this time. Because where's the... Am I blind? Oh, I was like, where's the 2nd barracks? Floats it away from the wall to build a new reactor. Does he go Banshee here, though? It's a big question. Be brave not to. Yeah, he's going. Ooh, great wraparound. And those 4 Lings attack the Hellions just to scare them back, right? So you don't clump up on the Reapers and get shot. 6 Lings, 2 drones, an Overlord. But you've killed 3 Reapers. It's only Hellions on the map, which is really nice. If you get rid of the Reapers before the Hellions are there, they're not as in your face. Whereas we saw in that last game, the Reapers can keep taking little bits of chip damage and then regenning it over time. And that makes the Hellions so much more annoying. Whereas here, the Hellion can't get those hit points back unless he goes all the way home to repair, which kind of defeats the purpose of using a Hellion. SERRAL going for a YOLO surround, a big gamble. Oh, I love that SERRAL is flipping coins against CLEM. It's exactly how you have to play against him. He was hoping that CLEM wouldn't be watching, but CLEM's micro is so good. He's going to take a good enough trade. This is fine for CLEM. This is totally fine for CLEM. Because look at that. What did you get? You got 2 Hellions for another 20 Zerglings. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not a good trade, guys. SERRAL was hoping to catch him off guard, and I think he was probably thinking about maybe, if he gets us around, slapping it down, maybe doing greedy Mutalisks. As it is, I imagine we'll see... Oh, he's still playing Roaches. Oh, SERRAL just has no faith in non-Roach styles, hey. I mean, that's my experience whenever I'm playing a Terran who's like a legit pro. If I'm playing a Beyond or a Clem, I'm like, I'm not playing Ling Bane against you. Heck no, this stuff's stupid. Roaches are the only unit tanky enough for me to not just have them get focused down instantly. It's just, it's so, I mean, I know Serral's been very Roach reliant. I just felt like in this game, with the start he's had, more of a Ling focus build would have been more predictable. I wouldn't mind it if he does that Infestor style. I wonder if he's learnt that Infestor style. I was talking to Serral about Ling Infestor a few years ago and trying to get him to try it in a tournament. He was like, yeah, he was kind of like on the fence. He was like, you know, I've won some ladder games with it, but I think it felt a bit too gimmicky. Like there was a few too many problems he could see arising that he didn't want to like throw a game trying something that he saw as being not as stable. Serral always looking for stability. Queen's going to go down in the main. Oh, Hellions dive, but good drone pull. Lings will deflect, and they'll get at least one Hellion. Oh, great wraparound. Wow, Serral's Ling micro. Making up for those earlier trades. The Queens did indeed. Oh, one Queen died, but a Banshee went and almost died for it. 1-1's on the way. Instant Infestation Pit here for Serral. He starts +1 range, but that means he does not realize Carapace didn't start. Oh, he does start it. Well done. Serral up. A good 17 workers, which is nice. Problem. Double drop's going towards his main, and he's about to type GG. He has no units. He didn't see it coming. He's dead. He's actually dead here, guys. This is crazy to say, but he's just started 5 roaches. He has no army whatsoever. There's a tank in his main base. Oh, no. He's got nothing. The chaos was too much from the early game. The Banshees, the Hellions keeping him on the ropes, the Reapers as well. But Clem picks up and flies away. He doesn't realize what he's got. Dude, there was nothing there. I mean, I get the Queens have transfuse. Clem just missed a golden opportunity. Because right now, the Hive started, the Roaches are coming out, canceling the 4th. Like, Serral's like, oh no. Like, he's so happy. He was very close to just having to leave. If that was 16 Stim Marines and they went straight in his mineral line, this could have been a disaster. But Clem missing an opportunity just slightly, and he's going to... Is that 8 racks? Oh, he's 8 racksing. I wasn't expecting 8 racks out of Clem here. Infestors are on the way. Wow, Serral just got away with murder. That being said, I mean, his 4th still got cancelled. I wouldn't say he got away with murder, but he's survived for now. It still feels like he's in a very compromised position, though, because his upgrades are so behind. 2-2's about to start for Clem. Let's see how quick he is on this. 1-1 finished a few seconds ago. Almost instantly starts +2 attack. Really good awareness. And she's still active on the map. Grabs 2 drones. Got to be careful about not venturing near that spore on the high ground. Great spore positioning, realizing this ledge could be a hot drop location. Now on this map, we know there's really nasty tank spots. So Roach Ravage is probably kind of essential on this map. Instead, he's just going to have to go through the middle with this 8 racks bio tank. Where are those Infestors? There's only 2 of them. I don't think 2's ever enough. I always say 4 Infestors is much better. We'll see if he can make it happen. He sees the attack. Here we go! First Fungal's the best! A big surprise does land. A second one is decent. But you know what, guys? I don't think his biles were that big. He lands one on a Banshee. That's about it. His army is mostly Zerglings and Ravagers right now. It's not a very meaty force. And he doesn't have enough fungal. He's out of fungal now, which means no splash damage. Oh, man. Ravagers dropping vials all across. Does take out both tanks. Queens are here, maybe with Transfuse. Transfuse on the front line. The front line disappears to the tanks, though. There is still a tank very close to in range. Oh, you can just see how having 1 or 2 more fungals could be game-changing here. But here we go. Serral trying to hang on. The bile's going out on the right side, but he's got to tap out. Ultra Cavern not having time to get ready, guys. His Ultra Cavern was finished. If we rewind a little bit in this game, you can see it just finished as this fighting was happening. His 1-2 was on the way. This was all before combat shields as well. Clem shoving in. And I've talked about this a lot while analyzing Shin's games last week. I talked about it while casting Scarlet's games. And I will once again reiterate, I truly believe the fungal is the most important thing in the game. You are replacing your banelings with it. 2 is just way too cheap. I think like having a few Ravagers is good, but I actually think 4 or 5 Infestors is fine. At least 3 is the minimum. I think it's 3 to 5 Infestors. I think obviously you want to start the Hive first, but like let me hone in on this exact moment in the game where the ordering should change. All right, guys, so it was actually really hard for Serral to squeeze in another Infestor. I think he could have squeezed 1 or 2 more in, as he was like, his Hive was maybe about halfway done, but it was very gas poor. but this second fungal was not worth it. So first fungal, really good. I mean, Clem reacted to mitigate the damage, but it was still worth. And it's not bad, but the second fungal was a waste, and he loses an Infestor as well. But you can just see this 8-Rax is hitting really hard. Infestors in general, it's hard to survive against 8-Rax with the Infestor style. So SERRAL needs to either get the Ultras out faster, have a smoother opening, or he needs a few more Infestors and a bit more army in the mid-game. I think either thing works. You either tech harder and faster, and you have the Ultras faster by 45 seconds, or you go more Infestors. I don't know which one's the correct one here, but I'm sure SERRAL would just say, I gotta fix up my early game. All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Game 3 now. SERRAL on the bottom left side going for the Extractor trick. Clem in the top right side going for a normal depot now. What a crazy game that was. Cool to see Clem commit to an 8-Rax. I think it's really important to put SERRAL on notice. I've talked about Clem's weaknesses over the years. Never 8-Raxing, never doing a proxy Rax Marine aggression back when that was one of the main things that kept Zerg players honest. And he has started mixing in more variety to his play, so I think it makes him a much harder player to play against. And, you know, we saw this in the past. SERRAL became the world champion and spent years evolving his playstyle, improving his range of strategies. So he wasn't just the best at one or two things, but was a genuinely frustrating player to prepare for, right? You don't really know what SERRAL's going to go for these days. There are certain ranges of things that he will and won't do, of course. You know, it's predictable in some ways, but if you're going to predict exactly what build he's going to do every game, well, you know a lot more about StarCraft than I do. Because I can make some predictions, but I definitely can't tell you his build order until I actually see it in action. He's got that range. Big thanks, by the way. Hello, Theo. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate all of you watching live. This replay pack just dropped, so I've extended my live stream to cast this one live. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, YouTube. Going to try and get this one edited, rendered, and uploaded so that it's up for tonight's release, which normally we release it about 8 hours from now, so we'll see if we can get that done in time. Have we ever seen SERRAL do a Spinecrawler rush? Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember a single game of SERRAL Spinecrawler rushing. Now, Scarlet, ever since, I remember Scarlet had her Dark arc many years ago, where she went from just the most normie macro player ever, and then she hung out with Bly too much. And she it was like watching someone smoke drugs for the first time. And you're like, oh god, she was so promising as a macro player. And next thing you know, Neeb was getting proxy hatched every single NA finals for 3 years. That was great. Oh! SERRAL loses the drone. Oh, he thought that drone was going to get away. Clem's Reaper is so obnoxious, man. Alright, double inject goes down immediately. No one goes for the creep tumor anymore. I think on this map, arguably the creep tumor first is quite decent. Yeah, Neeb actually, if you guys ever want to know how to defend proxy hatch shenanigans and dirty Zerg cheese, go watch all the old Neeb Scarlet finals from 2018, 2019, 2020. So many good Zerg cheeses and so many good Protoss defenses of them as well. Really fun series they had. Third hatchery coming up on the right side. A few more queens coming out now. Reaper's going to go towards the main base. All right. Okay, this is cool. Oh, what's that? Oh, sorry. I thought that was a third gas. It's just his second gas. Never mind. I got excited for no reason. I was like, it's a battle cruiser build, guys. He's going fast 3 gas. No, it's not a battle cruiser build, unfortunately. As excited as I was. Oh, we're skipping Ling Speed. Okay, SERRAL's going back to basics. Skip Ling Speed. Straight to roaches. Now, this build suffers in the mobility front, but by cutting that Ling Speed, you save so much money earlier. And I think you're probably going to stop at just 5 queens. So SERRAL's going to skimp on Ling Speed, skimp on Ling, skimp on queens, get the roaches out, which means your defensive force is also your future fighting force. It means when push comes to shove against something like an 8-Rax, you've just got more Roach Ravager on the field. So I like this build, especially on this map where you've got a tight ramp that's relatively easy to block with queens. Hellion Reaper's going to poke in. The queens are ready. Now with this build, SERRAL's not going to split his queens onto 2 groups because he's only got 5 queens in total, 3 on defense, 2 on injecting. And one of these is even has to go and inject that third base once in a while as well. Single Evo. I love the early single Evo. It's such a good move. He's got a drone in the door, so if Clem runs past, he can just quickly build an Evo to wall it in. This is a good thing to do. It's not worth, you know, risking it when you don't have link speed. Roaches are going to come out. SERRAL, I'd love to see him really pretend he's going aggressive right now. Just keep moving forward for like another 10 seconds. Then again, the Banshee's already here, so he's got to run away. He already has to run away. Uh-oh. 2 more barracks are coming in behind this. Standard macro transition for CLEM. He should build double eBay now. It's going to go down in a moment. Already gets a Hellion though. Hellion for a Roach. Good trade for SERRAL. Always happy to trade evenly with a Terran, because anytime you remove Terran map presence, that creep just extrapolates. It exponentially grows and explodes across the map. And once it gets past a certain point, it is nigh unstoppable. Banshee rotating. Queen's over there as well. Watch out for that Banshee on the left side. Hatchery does go down on the 4th. Double gas on this 3rd. Should be nice in the moment. There we go. Yeah, beautiful timings. So SERRAL prioritizes the 4th base, but he still needs 6 gases. He knows that. He's got a pretty good Roach split. Clem's going to dive it. No, he's not. 4th hatchery takes damage, but 1 Banshee, not enough to take care of it. Uh-oh. Oh, does he have transfuse? Oh, he misses it. Oh, no, SERRAL. SERRAL misses a transfuse, and now he's outgunned. Okay, no. With double transfuse. Oh, he's not target firing. Oh, because the Hellions are distracting. 3 drones already go down. This is a disaster. He's going to lose both queens. Okay, another queen arrives. He will take out 1 Banshee. 1 Banshee against 1 queen, but I think the Banshee wins that fight. Oh, it's a barbecue, mate. He left an opening. Clem's so good at dancing, and look at that. That Banshee does take out the extra queen. That's 3 queens down for 1 Banshee. Great trade for Clem. Reaper escapes to the low ground. These 2 aliens aren't done yet. Anyone call for some barbecue? Does get another drone, and that's 9 workers, 3 queens. This could be game ending. He's on 5 barracks. His 1 was a little delayed. There are some idle SCVs. Like, don't be wrong, even Clem, when the game gets that hectic, makes a mistake or 2. But it's so rare to get a mistake like this out of SERRAL. And look at this, the Reaper comes back in. SERRAL's so tilted. SERRAL is so tilted right now. I guarantee you guys, you have never seen hair getting tussled more angrily than SERRAL right now, frantically trying to build spores to save his drones. He doesn't have ling speed. He doesn't have the luxury of being able to just A-move some lings to clean up problems. And this is the advantage of this style, is you have more money put into the direct things you need. Just roaches, a handful of queens, tons of drones. Downside, you don't have the mobility, so you have to make more sure you are more perfect on your defense. Guess what? He was not. He just screwed up real bad. Trying to build infestors and more roaches right now while adding link speed. But SERRAL's about to lose his pervert on the front that gives him map vision. And his hive has just started. Once again delayed at 7 minutes. It's a good work account. SERRAL's still okay. But this is something which is very scary. And only 3 infestors? I truly believe, especially if you look at how Clem played against Shin, it was some of the most pig-headed response to infestors I have ever seen. What I mean by that is he didn't respond. He made 0 response in his playstyle against infestors at Dallas. Clem showed that his only response against infestors was to walk into fungals harder. Now, don't get me wrong, SERRAL's expecting Clem to intelligently react, but once again, presenting a big target, but SERRAL gives him time to spread. SERRAL misses the opportunity. Clem hands him a bundle of Marines on a platter, and SERRAL misses the opportunity, a little bit too slow to react. He didn't realize the army was coming, and now Clem, look at this. I told you, Clem's just going to stim, and try to win. He tries to drop plus a double Giga Transport. Oh, crazy move. Clem, like I said, he's suicidal. When he plays against these styles, he plays like a crazy person, but he's going to get rid of all the queens. That's the mobile anti-air. Oh, no. The queens are all going down, but 1 fungal could ruin him. The fungal whiffs. Giga Transport's not going to be able to shut it down. SERRAL fumbling right now. Clem is literally just screwing up, but SERRAL's not quick enough to punish him. Clem is making strategic errors, but he is clicking incredibly fast right now. I gotta call it like it is. Clem is absolutely handing opportunities to SERRAL, but SERRAL's already taken too much damage early, and because of that, he's a little slow to react. He's behind on his macro. Clem is in the driver's seat. He's allowed to make a little mistake here or there because SERRAL's not quick enough. SERRAL's the one reacting to him, and SERRAL's out of infestor energy now. 3 infestors, all out of energy. That whiffed fungal, big problem. SERRAL does have a decent spread on his units. 3 roaches and some lings. Clem's still going to try and micro it out. Very nice micro there for Clem. 1 Marine for a whole pack of Zerglings. SERRAL, he's looking for the fungal. Let's try to bile this. He does push it back. SERRAL on 76 workers. Problem for him. 4th command center floats out. 2 2s on the way. Extra barracks going down. It's going to be 8 racks with the tech labs coming in. Concussive has not started. And that's something you'll have to remember. Oh, SERRAL! But his army's too small, is it? Oh my gosh. Does land a fungal, but oh, those vials are interesting. trying to get the Banshee, I guess. He's really worried about the Banshee. He lost all of his queens. Losing those queens is awful because, look, the Banshee's just going to click his Infestors. He has to fungal it, but he doesn't, which means he loses one Infestor. Lands a big fungal. Clem showing zero respect for the fungal. I don't think it matters. He's got too much army. Clem balls into the fungal and takes it on the chin. Oh, my lord, dude, Clem. SERRAL is going to be so far beyond tilted this game because Clem played an obnoxiously aggressive style, but, like, that's what you got to do. That is Clem. That's the thing that makes Zergs angry, and I guarantee you SERRAL is angry. Let's talk about those Hellions getting in because I missed that at the start. So he goes up to secure the 4th. Hellions poking around. Banshee's there. He's like, okay, we've secured this. Oh, okay, great. Make it Overseer. We'll be fine. He's got 3 roaches here, 3 roaches here. 1 Hellion goes down. But then look, those roaches moved out of position. And that's a real problem. Because if he even killed 1 more of these Hellions, they wouldn't have had the same ability to just one-shot. And then he just goes straight into the main, which is a huge problem right now for SERRAL. Doesn't have Ling speed. Because of that, the Queen's derped out at the front. Remember, he didn't land the transfusers correctly. And that's a really big problem. All right, guys. SERRAL drops that map. Those roaches moving in the wrong direction, letting the Hellions in. Oh, it's going to haunt him. He's not going to be happy about that. Clem in the top left side. I like just how active he is with the Hellions and Reapers, and he just waits for there to be an opening. You know, for most of us, it's like we choose when to dive with the Hellion Reaper. We stare at it. We dive. Sometimes it does damage. Sometimes it gets completely defended. With Clem, it's like the Reaper Alien just rotates around, looking for creep tumors, looking for pickoffs. And if you're out of position for a fraction of a second, bam, he's in. And it's not pre-planned. It's just he sees in that moment, oh, roaches are slightly out of position. Click in here. Oh, cool. We're doing damage. Oh, look, my Banshee is doing damage. Oh, look. We killed a queen. We killed another queen. Those openings there. Yeah. Now, obviously, SERRAL loves Infestors in late game, and he's been the master of that for a long time. Guys were saying, someone was saying, oh, of course SERRAL's going to play Infestors more in this series. And I was saying, well, no, he always plays Infestors in the late game, but going Infestors instead of Banelings, it's a new thing. People are trying to play ZVT without Banelings. And I think it's a good start to mix in. I don't think you should necessarily always do it. And don't get me wrong, if you land a fungal, it's really nice to roll Banelings in with that. You can play Ling Bane Infestor. That is an option as well, or Roach Ling Bane Infestor. It just, you start to get very gas heavy. It starts to get hard to have enough of everything. Or you can just have more fungals. Like I said, if we're subbing the Banelings out for Infestors properly, you just need to have the extra fungals because it's not just one fungal. You need to be able to chain it. And that's the big thing that's been lacking with these just make 2 or just make 3 Infestor styles. Now, don't get me wrong. If SERRAL gets to Hive, that's fine. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about an alternate style. Right now, SERRAL is not playing Infestors instead of Banelings. SERRAL is basically trying to rush straight to Ultras, and he's getting killed before he gets there. And he's making a few Infestors to try to be like a kind of crappy substitute for Banelings. I'm talking about being willing to delay your Hive by a full minute and consciously, or maybe just adding them on the way to Hive, either way. But basically really investing in the Infestors as if you're making Banelings, as if it's a core part of your army that you actually rely on. Because I think Clem especially is very susceptible to it. And I think there's a meta game where once the Terran starts respecting the fungal, that's when you start tricking them. Good spore trick. Almost lost that drone. But then you start tricking them and you start just building 2 Infestors. But I think you need to get their respect first. And Clem has 0 respect for the Infestor. He basically just YOLOs in, clicks with his important thing. No Fs given ever. Raynard says you can't delay the Hive because you'll die to 8 racks. You need to get them while you go to Hive. I'm curious. Okay, so what? Like because you need the Ultras to defend the 8 racks, right? Or are we talking about like a single Viper to help defend? Like what specifically at Hive is it that turns things around? Is it just the Ultra timing, right? 2 Vipers? Okay, 2 Vipers against the tanks is definitely pretty huge. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the point of Infestors is slowing them down. You need some stuff that actually kills them. So, if you went heavier Infestors with this style, and I know the pro Zerg, Scarlet and Rainer and a few others in the chat, you guys aren't really familiar with this because it's definitely a noob thing. If you go heavier Infestor, you would have to go heavier Roach Ravager to take advantage of it, right? That's the only way that style is going to work. The one that I'm talking about, where you're like, I'm going to build 6 Infestors. And you really need to like control the map and make it so it's really, really hard, if not impossible, for them to push across without eating big fungals, right? It's like a map control style. So that's it. This is a very different theoretical thing. Sorry, guys, to pause the casting. I'm so curious to have high-level Zergs in the chat to talk this about. It's hard if they slow push with tanks, if you make a lot of Ravager Infestor. I think on bigger maps like this one, you can definitely do it. Here we go. All right, Lings do scout that it is 3cc Alien Banshee. We haven't seen too many losses just yet. Both sides macroing really well. I think if you go 6 to 8 roaches really fast, get Hive, 3 Infestors, mass Lings into Ultras. I think that's a good style. It's obviously a different style to what I'm talking about. Like, that's basically an Ultra Rush with a few Infestors just to help you buy that little bit of time. And I like that style. I do like that style. Serral's trying to do that here. Or he was in the previous games. Actually, this one looks like a more standard Ling Bane game. I think he's going to go Baneling Nest. It's a bit too late to go into Roaches at this point. Probably. He could still do it. Hasn't made the decision just yet on Roach Warren or Bane Nest. But, yeah, I'd love to see someone just experiment with a heavier Infestor style. Be really cool to see. The 8 racks. It's got Zerg scared. And she does get 2 drones. Sorry for bringing that up. Sometimes I just don't know how many units died, even though I forgot we've got the correct overlay on, so we see it on the left side. My bad. Poor observing from Piggy. And she pokes back in. Oh, that looks like an F2. Clem, are we watching? He realizes. Okay. Good correction there. All right, this is a more calm opening, but there's no Baneling Nest. Is he going to play Ling Infestor? Guys, there's no Baneling Nest, no Roach Warren. Guys, is Serral drunk? What? What is this? Is he doing the Scarlet build from... He's going straight Ling Hydra. Is he doing the Scarlet build from friggin... We literally randomly showed this video as filler before we cast this from Katowice a few years ago. The straight to greedy mass. I randomly chose that video because it was a video with a lot of views to keep the audience entertained while I was having lunch. That's so funny. Oh no! Oh no, barbecue! Okay, queens are blocking. The queens were blocking. Lings were already on the left side. Those drones were awfully clumped up. Good defense here. So this is a straight to Hydra Ling build. Normally you still go Infestors with this while going Hive. I'm not sure if he's going to. He's going to go 1-1 range Carapace, right? I think you go range with this. Yeah. It's a mass Hydra build, guys. Scarlet was doing this a few years ago. This is a sick build. I thought it was a troll build. If you guys want to see that, Google Scarlet trolls at a $500,000 tournament. Because I did not think the build was a serious attempt until I saw how well it worked. I was like, she trolling. This is cool. Hydras are a long-ranged high-damage unit. It means Clem can't abuse his micro in and out that he does so well. And look at this. Serral's trying to bait him in. He wants to surround this Hellion Reaper. It's very deep on creep. He could surround that. Banshee goes in on the left side. Scan goes down. He sees no Hive. He's so confused. Clem is like, what are you doing? And now he's like, oh, I guess it's just Ling Bane. But he hasn't seen a single Baneling yet. He's a little confused about what Serral's up to. He's going to go Biomine. Second factory coming in. Extra barracks. So 5 barracks. Probably a 4th command center will start in a moment. He's building a missile turret. Showing he's a little paranoid. He's not sure what's happening in this game. How many Hydras? 12. 4 more building. Groove Spines are ready, but 1-1 is not. Oh, Serral's going to have to fight without 1-1, I think. The Ling flank could be really good, especially if he drags the Widow Mines. If these Lings come from the left. Okay. Hydra's really good against Widow. This is so good against Widow Mines. Because it looks like a Ling Bane build, so Clem's gone Widow Mines. Hydras don't care about Widow Mines, they just focus them down. Oh, Serral's going to focus the Widow Mine. Oh, okay. Oh, he didn't quite focus the Widow Mines down, but the Marines get hammered anyway. Hydra's doing pretty good. Lings are ready on the rally, but he's not watching. Oh, bit of a screw up for Serral. Misses an opportunity there to intercept, and now the Banshees are going to deal with that. If he can click the command center, that's the dream. Click the command center. No, he's just going to go for the rally. Oh, that Marine micro into the corner. Oh my gosh, Clem, you little D-bag. 3 Marines with medevacs in the corner. Literally unkillable. Literally unkillable. Serral doesn't find anything. He's got 2 Infestors on the way. A Hive. He needs to move forward and take position, though. He's kind of crammed in a bit of a defensive spot. I wish he was out here fighting. Doesn't want to go too far off creep, but he's giving up a lot of creep control. Is Serral? Dude, this game's so cool. Can Mass Hydra really work against Clem? Oh gosh, he's got so much firepower and it's Clem. He's crazy. We need Queen support. We need Queen support. The Widow Mines. They need to get focus fired. Serral. He takes out the Widow Mines. But watch out, the Overseer goes down, which means does he have the clear ability? Yeah, there's no drilling claws just yet. It's about to finish. He clears up the Widowmine. Dude, this is still so scary, but SERRAL's trading way better than he normally does. He's on 80 drones. Hive's almost finished. Lurker Den's coming in. 2-2's on the way. Dude, I love this. This is what's so good about CLEM, guys. CLEM is so disgustingly unfair at StarCraft 2 that he is forcing everyone else to try all sorts of weird stuff just to take maps off him. Like, that's how good he is in a standard game. People are like, well, I'm not making Banelings versus this guy. He's disgusting. You know? Here we go. Oh my gosh. Infestor's ready. You can't be clumping into... Infestor Hydra is such a good combo as well because the Hydras can gun the units down with their high long-range damage. Dude, Fungal on the Medivacs also stops you retreating as well really well. Dude, SERRAL's doing a great job. And Infestors on both sides. Remember what we watched on this map with the Shin game? I kept talking in that commentary about how you need Infestors on both sides on a big map like this. Because otherwise they can just poke in and you can't really catch them. But that's the sort of move where now CLEM's like, okay, your Infestors are in the north, I'll shove in on the south. But there's an Infestor waiting. Yeah, you see? And he's going to clump him up as well. He's going to clump him up. This Infestor's going to land a sick Fungal. Watch this. Oh! Brilliant move there. Quite a lot of the Marines do survive. No Frenzy just yet. Lings and Hydras up north. Widowmine's not really landing the big shots they wanted. Another Widowmine will go down there as well. Oh, no, it won't. SERRAL pulling back. Lets that one Marine survive as well, which is kind of crazy. Still a mine drop in the back. Looks like a single Widowmine did go in on that side. Nidus Worm and 8 Lurkers on the way. This first Nidus surprise could be game-winning. Even if it's not, it feels like SERRAL's got that Lurker tech up when the first ghosts are just emerging. A Spine Crawler to dodge the Widowmine? SERRAL! Slick play here, dude. Medivac goes down. No more Widowmine drops. Hydra's there, but the Fungal. Oh, the thing is, you want to shove into the Hydras because they're such a fragile unit. But if you shove into the Hydras, you're shoving into Fungal Lurker now. Dude, Clem's getting mauled. He's down 1,300 minerals. Oh, those Lurkers are in a dangerous spot because if you break those rocks, they'll get collapsed on. And you don't want to get this army too isolated. Overseer's in position. I think Clem knows about it. He absolutely does know about it. He's sending a drop back. Sends an 8 Marine drop because he knows a Nidus is about to pop up. But Nidus is just going to be used to reinforce just north of this position, just off screen. A couple snipes try to come in. The Lurker, Hydra. Hydras are also very good at interrupting ghost attacks because they're a ranged unit. Baneling Nest is on the way. He's going to try and maybe bust this planetary on the left side. How much does SERRAL have down here? A pack of Ling Hydra. It's mostly Ling Hydra. It's not the most direct front-on army. One Lurker does get sniped over here. He's still got no Infestor energy. Lurker, Hydra, Ling trying to fight it out. SERRAL does take a Widowmine shot to the face, but Clem really playing very, very well. More Lurkers here. Clem trying to hold on. He's got 7 ghosts, a pack of Marine Marauder, and these Hydras, they need to put that base in jeopardy. Fungal's available. Ooh, great EMP. Does land one Fungal. There's another Fungal available. The ghosts all got trapped at the front. 7 ghosts go down. One more Fungal plus Lurkers. You do not want to get Fungaled anywhere near the Lurkers. Oh, the Hydra Fungal Infestor combo is brilliant. Clem, he needs libs. He needs more ghosts, but he's just not there yet. He doesn't have enough money. He was relying on getting momentum and damage with this big Marine Bio Widowmine investment. The Hydras have shut down that momentum completely. And SERRAL is mauling Clem with Scarlet Smash Hydra build. She used to use this on Site Delta, on Alcyon, on those big maps in that older map pool last year. Freaking cool style. Hydra Link comes forward. Widowmine does land a big smear, but denying the third. Clem barely on 3 bases. He lands a new one in the middle. He's going to try and counter drop down south, but hatchery in the middle of the map. Drones are going to try and evacuate. SERRAL's still got 5 bases, super solid, even if he somehow loses this. Remember, it's 2-2 against 2-2, but no melee upgrades, so Zergling's attacks are relatively worthless in this game. Oh, okay, not much support for this Hydra Lurker. SERRAL's army is a little fragile, and I think getting out of there is probably the correct call. Then again, chasing in... Oh, the snipes. Oh, the snipes! Oh my gosh! Oh my lord! Clem, stop it! Ow! Oh my gosh, that was really well done. Clem did not let SERRAL retreat. SERRAL stepped a little bit too deep in Terran territory. But look at this, Clem doesn't even have scans. Guys, he doesn't have scans? His orbitals are dry right now. Oh man, he's drier than Mrs. Crabapple from South Park. Holy cow. It's yeah, man. Damn. The friggin' Lurker there trying to fire Frenzy's coming in. 96 drones. Okay. This is where you just click 20 Banes on a planetary, right? Wasn't Mrs. Crabapple or Crabobble was from Simpsons? What was the name of the bus driver in the first few seasons of South Park who had like a bird's nest in her hair and would just scream at people? What was her name? I was thinking of that one, but I said the wrong name. Baneling's trying to come in. Mass Hydra Bane. It has to lift off. Widowmines not able to get the game-saving shots that they need. Hydraling Bane coming forward. Serral playing some really clever strategies here. The bio does fend him off. Mass Lurker breaches the back door. Ooh. Okay, that's a huge amount of damage. That is a huge amount of damage. It's lots of add-ons, lots of buildings. The creep is going to be hard to receive. He's got to get out. He's got to get out. Great evacuation. Doesn't even lose the Overseer. Blasts the planetary on the south side. And Clem, he just can't hang on against this. Look, there's also Infester ready, so he's going to come forward and pop a fungal on this potentially. That Infester. Oh, he's looking aroused right now. And there we go. Great fungal. Pops up, pops down, pops all around. And Clem very close to tapping out of this game. He is on his last legs. Another Nidus Worm inside the main base. Clem does not have the numbers to defend. Up in army supply, but absolutely ravaged. Most of that supply seems to be in production, and a bunch of ghosts with no energy. GG, well played. All right, guys, well, we're going on to Last Fantasy. I cannot believe Serral didn't veto this map. That means he must have vetoed. I mean, it's a best of 7. You only get 1 veto each. Probably vetoed, and actually, yeah, do you guys think he vetoed Pylon? Incorporeal? One of those two. I feel like those maps are kind of awkward. Probably Pylon? Has like the nastiest tank spots on it and stuff. But he plays Roach Ravager, so maybe he's not as good at that. Chat says he had no vetoes. Oh, what? How did they do it for this tournament? Wild Rainer with some info on what the actual system was for this tournament. I just assumed it was normal. Clem got both vetoes. Oh, because he came from the upper bracket. So because Serral dropped a series earlier in the tournament and Clem hadn't, he actually gets 2 vetoes. Oh, wow. So he's like, I'm going to veto. He didn't veto Maganatha, interestingly. Or Tokamak. So I guess he got rid of Persephone and Torches, maybe? Torches I thought was good for Terran. Anyways, point being, guys, Last Fantasy, good map for Terran. This main base is wide open to like a tank ledge push just to getting dropped in the main, and your bases are so far away. So Zerg has to expand along the top and basically just do an all-in. I think if you're worried about an all-in, which you should be on this map, it's crazy to go 2-Rax Reaper because you're very exposed to all-ins with a natural wall-in. On the other hand, even with this wall-off that's exposed on the natural base, does he feel like he can just keep Serral defense? I don't know. I feel like this gives Serral an opportunity to spring across and bust through. Maybe a Bane Bust? Like, Bane Busts are actually the biggest gamble that is not used enough against these builds. The trick is getting in there when there's only 2 Hellions, or surrounding the 2 Hellions or whatever, right? There is an early Link Speed, fully pulled off gas so far. Very stable, standard opening for Serral. Pulls his Lings back. He now knows exactly where Clem is. Ooh. Reaper's dancing back and forwards. All right, Reaper's gathering up. 3rd command center not started just yet. 2nd gas, first of all. So he's still building Reapers. He's going 5 Reapers. Ooh, he's going to commit heavy, but that gives Serral even more of an opportunity. If he was back on gas right now, I would truly believe in the Bane Bust. But he's not back on gas. Serral is not giving himself that opportunity. He's massing off 20 workers. There's no wall off right now. He might be able to just focus down the buildings. Queen's coming forward. Is he going to pull off creep to fight? Serral decides no, because he knows Clem could divert past and kill all of his workers. He's massing Lings. These Lings getting ready to run in. He wants Ling speed. The Reaper's going to come out, though. And Serral, oh, Clem sees it. And these Lings just going to go for the add-ons. He needs to send 2 Lings after the Reaper, I think, just to make him run away. Force Clem to micro a little bit would be good. Oh, Clem's going to get the 3rd. Nice cancel for Serral. Instantly tells it to rebuild. Engineering Bay emergency. Wall-off goes down. The barracks is actually the thing you want to target here, I think. Yeah, look at this. Serral tearing the wall down. He's built 36 Zerglings, so many. If he could trap those Reapers as well, But I don't think he can. I don't think he's diverted enough lings over there. Oh, he's only going to trap one. Okay, he gets one of Clem's Reapers, but only one. Down here, the wall-off is getting up. The SCV repair is good. And SERRAL is going to have to just settle for the reactor. Kill the reactor and then back off, I think, is the way to do this. But his third hatch went down. He massed Zerglings. If he went Baneling Nest as well, this is game over. And he's up 3-2 in this series. But SERRAL only went Lings, and whilst it gives him a better transition, if he just YOLO gambled, this was actually, like I said, Clem gave him an opportunity. Clem's been very bad about this. A lot of players are really bad about this. They'll play maps that are really like bad for Zerg in the mid and late game, and they'll do risky openings. It's really bad decision making, I think, on a theoretical level. And I think it's kind of a shame SERRAL didn't take advantage of it, because I think as SERRAL, this map sucks, dude. He's going to go Baneling Nest second gas now. It feels like he's preparing for a delayed Baneling Nest. It's going to be very, very late if that is the case. How many queens? Only 2. He is going for a Baneling bust. He's going to wait for the double drop to move out, and then he's going to counter bust. It's not a bad play. If he can hide the Ling Bane over here, wait till the double drop arrives, have just enough Lings to defend at home, and then bust in with a ton of Banelings from the left side. Problem is that third base will see it coming, because it's already landed. On the other hand, can he surround these Reapers maybe? Limit the map vision of Clem would be nice. He's only going to use some of his Lings. He doesn't want to use all of them. Oh my god. The fact that Clem turns to fight is so crazy to me. Like, how cocky do you have to be as a Terran player to play like this? I swear, Clem is so confident. I love it. He's actually just so confident. Now, if this double medevac, it's very late. The double medevac's actually so late, and it actually makes this harder for SERRAL to bust him. Oh, the Reapers see it! He sees the Baneling cocoons! He's gonna eBay wall off the front, guys. The Reaper's trying to pull back. Oh, dude, and look at this. He's gonna pull behind this depot. Oh, this is crazy. SERRAL can't bust this now. He's got to blow up Stim. He's got to blow up Stim in transition. I don't think he can get through. SERRAL's just gonna tap out. Oh, no! There is no way, right? Am I correct in this assessment, guys? If SERRAL goes for a Bane bust with that early Ling Flood, there's just no way to defend. It's so all in. 20 drones going for a Bane nest off 20 drones is ridiculous. That's actually like so dumb, what I'm suggesting. But it's also, I think, good. I'm not sure. I think it's good while also being ridiculously all in. But I mean, Clem left himself open to it, right? I don't think SERRAL was expecting more Reapers to come in right then. That's unfortunate for him. If he clicked these Lings in immediately before that add-on was down, or targeted this add-on a little bit earlier, maybe. But GG, well played. Really good hold by Clem. Really good emergency wall-offs and spreading out his repairs. Really well done. Wow, what a series we have. This one's been a mixture of action-packed and just hectic. But we are, as always, at a very close scoreline. And Clem now starting to pull away from SERRAL. Can he get another win and make it a 4-2 to seal the deal here at Star Zagora? I really hope so, man. I mean, no, I don't. I hope we get... I do not. I hope Clem dies. I want a 7th game. Piggy wants 7th game. I'd love to see more Infestus. I'd love to see that Hydra build pop out again. I don't know if it's going to work 2 times in a row. I think you need a big map for it. Good on a big map. Lots of space between you and the Terran. See that early hatchery, 45 seconds, goes down. And no doubt going to rally 1 drone to this northern patch. That's a nice close patch. SERRAL doubling those workers up to make sure they're all as efficient as possible. You can see here, every drone gets rallied to an individual position. This one, he'll micro there to pair up with this one guy that didn't have a buddy. Gas with that drone. This one builds a spawning pool, and the other 16 are just perfectly mining. Very clean opening. On the other hand, we've also got Clem. Straight 3 workers on gas immediately. And as soon as that SCV finishes, the barracks will finish at the same time. You'll make an orbital and a Reaper. Go for the command center. Very straight up opening. Clem is speed mining, guys. Oh my gosh, he's shift clicking workers to boost their mining slightly. Essentially, you can see a worker naturally will accelerate. He accidentally stopped that worker for a second. He misclicked it. He's still doing it. Oh, he's such a tryhard. Clem is the absolute definition of tryhard. SERRAL said in an interview we did for the recent Pig Fest, if to stay competitive with the best players in the world, he feels like he has to do this, he'll retire. He said it's the stupidest part of StarCraft, just shift-clicking workers at the start to get like a 1% mining boost. He's like, that's so dumb. I'm not doing that. He's like, I refuse. It was kind of refreshing to hear the greatest player of all time be like, look, even Clem is too much of a tryhard for me, man. Of course, tryhard, one of my favorite terms. Always used to insult people when we were kids. Oh, SERRAL was going to take the purple gas? Or no? Yeah. Yes? Okay, he's just trying to go to the southern base, but he's trying to take a roundabout path to get there. I see. Trying to hide that drone. Ooh, Reaper goes deep. Finds the Zergling. Can he get a second? Queen pops out. Inject goes down. That queen in the main base is going to move over to cover the ledge. The third hatchery has started on time. Early Ling speed once again. The power of mixing in these aggressive Reaper builds is now SERRAL's paranoid. He has to rush Ling speed every game. If you never do these Reaper builds, Zerg feels more confident cutting corners. So this is really effective, just from a momentum point of view. Clem forgot to return this SCV to mining. Just standing there with his minerals in his hand. He's like, well, technically, the boss told me to stand next to the command center, not to return the minerals. And they're like, have you ever shown any initiative of your own? The SCV's like, nope, that's why I'm an SCV. And you're like, yeah, I can tell, dude. Standing around like, seriously. He's like, well, I'm sorry. My boss gets to keep all the profits. I just do what I'm told. I'm just a silly SCV. Extra gas comes in. We've got the tech lab. Starport could do a little swapperoonie. Lings have pulled out of the main. He's going to send one Ling, which is not enough to beat a Reaper, by the way. Lings are going out. He's looking for the Hellion surround. He's going to find one. Very nice. Snatches the Hellion. Tries to go for the other. The Hellion decides to drive forward so it can join forces with the Reaper. Brave idea. Oh my gosh. It's a lot of Lings, guys. Lings running into the base as well. Those two Hellions, though. See the way Clem always leaves these little choke points in his main base to retreat to? So we can always pull Hellions back to here. And then the Zerglings will just funnel into them. Yeah, this is... Clem is really good with his building placement. These little details allow him to get out of trouble. 6 Lings for a Hellion and a Reaper is a good trade, but the fact is you built 16 Zerglings. And the Hellions mostly survived. That's good for Clem. Oh, Lings surround the Hellion. Very nicely done. Just every little ambush he does to take any bite away from Clem's momentum, it's quite good because he's so low on queens. He really needs to get the creep going with minimal creep tumors. Can't be affording to have Hellions darting in, sniping a creep tumor, running away all the time. Lings barely dodge the Banshee on the right side. These guys are in a pretty nearby position, though. That single Zergling's gonna run in. There's nothing at home to defend. Hellions are on the front. Dude, these Lings need to click in. SERRAL, get in there and kill everything right now. There is nothing at home. Clem with his pants down completely. Despite SERRAL being hyper-aggressive this game. Absolute madness. Depot doesn't get cancelled. It dies. A bunch of SCVs. At least a few should go down. Lings try to go to the high ground. Not going to find anything. The Lings should get out. I'd love to see him leave 2 or 3 Lings and the rest should just run away. Good pullback by SERRAL. Gets 5 SCVs, mining time, kills a depot, keeps the Hellion and Banshee back, 56 workers behind it, and back to Banelings, baby! I don't mind Banelings, guys. I despise Banelings after Roach Ravager on your way to Hive. I think they're worthless against an 8-Rax. But yeah, I do think just with a more standard Ling Bane style, they can be really good. Probably Ling Bane Hydra, if I had to guess. 5 gases. Oh, he hasn't started mining in the 5th one. Just putting on gases now. Lots of stuff going on at once. Double Evo at a pretty crisp timing. 5-minute 40 double Evo. Banshee rotates to the right. Hellions try to go in. And Lings say, nah, mate. Way too greedy trying to get in there. That's an important slapdown. Because now the Marines have to be on standby duty to defend. If they get caught out by a surround or the Lings just dart in and abuse the lack of Marine mobility, might be able to get a few SCVs. These Marines trying to cover the natural and the 3rd. And look at that. A couple of SCVs will go down. Make it 2, 3 SCVs. Tank shot does push the Zerg away. Look at this. 1-1 upgrades. Almost even with Terran. 2 more barracks come down to make it... Is that 5 barracks? I think that's 5. Yeah, that's going to be 5 barracks. Infestation pit. Oh, he cancels the Hydra Den. Goes Infestation pit. No Bane speed just yet, though. Key upgrade seems to have been forgotten. There we go. Does start up now. 6 minutes 50. I think he's got time. because we don't really see a very serious push, right? A handful of Marines, a tank, a couple medevacs will start moving forwards. Changeling here. 2 Banshees at home can deflect Zerglings, but I mean, you can run in and kill a bunch of SCVs before the Banshees deal with that. If the Lings commit, they could do really well. He hasn't seen the push. Serral doesn't know. And so his Bane speed's late. He doesn't know. Is Clem going to take him out here? Right now, Serral's ahead in supply. He's had a good early game. But this is a scary moment. Then again, 1-1 combat shield's not done just yet. Serral does not want to lose this 4th base. Got a lot of Ling Bane, but all of his Zerglings just rallying back here from this top left. He's got to get Lings on the tank. He's going to go Banes on the high ground, Lings on the low ground, but not the best split. And there we go. He does get on top. Good cleanup here by Serral. Those Marines on the low ground try to drop in the corner, but there was too much surface area. Queens come forward with the Overseer to push the Banshees back as well. Great defense by Serral, keeping the units lost tied together. And with 4 bases mining against the Terran, he's just started his 4th command center. Income looks good for the Zerg. Where's the Armory? Armory is finished, which means 2-2 can start for Terran. We'll see how quick he is to do so. Right now, continuing to try to attack. Clem does not want to give up ground. He doesn't want to give Serral room to breathe, but Serral has a gigantic army, and he can just YOLO this, man. Lings are on top of the tank. Bane's going after the Marines. That tank corner is so nice behind the gas, but the Lings, with now +1 melee, do take it down. Banelings are there, ready to roll into the 3rd. Banshees are going to make quick work of that. These Banshees, such a good defensive unit. I think they stopped this completely. Oh. Yeah, just a few SCVs going down. Should be easy for Clem to get those back producing. 6 more drones are making for Serral. He's going to go to 90 workers. Overlord speed, and those Hydra upgrades are coming in. Hive never got made, guys. Serral's build order does feel a little confused. He made the Hydra Den, cancelled it, built the Infestation Pit, cancelled it, and remade the Hydra Den. Serral can't be too indecisive. It's hard not to be when you're facing Clem. The world champion is a freak. Incredibly high pace. There's one player who can discombobulate even Serral, it's Clem. You just put on so much pressure that even Serral makes mistakes. Infestation Pit finally does rebuild here at the 9-minute mark, but it's mostly Hydraling Bane mid-game. If Serral can keep slapping these pushes down and then look for one big boom on this 4th, or a big massive run by into the natural, and 3rd, that'll be massive. So if Clem overextends a little with his next push, and Serral can either counter or slap the push and then counter, like, you know, it could be game ending. Serral's ahead with no Hive tech for a long time. It's going to be a little while until he can leverage that. Oh, does set off some Banes to blow up the Widow Mine. Doesn't want that firing into the middle of the pack. He's bringing most of his units. He's leaving just a handful of Ling Bane down the bottom. Look at that. 2 more medevacs going south are going to join up. So Clem's going to reinforce the south and the north. Oh, Magfield has been misclicked for Clem. Clem just as panicky as Serral is apparently. Mass Ling Bane rolling forwards. Hydras are going to help kill those tanks really quickly. And that's a big hot pickup there. Clem pulls away. He's got a good army in the south. This Ling Bane should be able to buy a little bit of time though. Look how good Serral is at respreading creep. But new armies coming in on the north. Clem's buying map control, and he's kind of bullying Serral right now. With no Infestor, it's really hard to punish these moves. Ooh, he redrops and gets hit by Banes. Queens in the north actually defend the creep along with the Ling Bane Hydra as well. Hive and Lurkaden are on the way. It's this redropping play where I do think Infestors are so good for shutting it down, but where do you squeeze it in without delaying the more important Lurkers and Vipers? You just can't. You got to get +2 as well. +2 range on an Evo chamber would be very helpful, or +2 melee. Bullying, he's not even touching the hatcheries. It looks like a very solid defense. Serral's army is far superior to Clem's, and despite that, Clem's on the front. That's what I mean by bullying. Bullies are weak. They aren't strong, but they act strong and they get in your face and they try to push you around. And that's what Clem's been trying to do in this game. Well, he builds a 4th, builds a 5th, builds a 6th, goes ghosts. His mag field's about to finish. That is a misclick. That was meant to be drilling claws. No, he's already got drilling claws. It's 100 minerals, 100 gas, not the end of the world. 2-2's about to finish for him. +3 carapace is ahead for Zerg, though. Don't get me wrong. Serral's defending very well. His economy's not touched. But for a guy who was stuck on that attack for a while, he's got decent income, but he's letting the Terran get established in the late game. And that's not necessarily bad, but considering how ahead he was earlier, look at the units lost time. It has swung way in Terran favor. Clem's keeping the creep somewhat controlled, and he's just making this very frustrating for a SERRAL that against any other Terran in the world, he would have just won the game by now. Hydra's trying to defend with the Ling Bane. The bio coming forward. Ooh! Bullies are weak. They're cowards maybe, but not weak. That's literally a type of weakness. Are you saying cowardice isn't a form of weakness? Jeez, why do I even read Twitch chat sometimes? Hydraling Bane trying to run forward. Bio. Oh, he's going to sandwich it. This planetary in the middle is an easy target as well. Marines in the middle as well, trying to hang out with the Medivacs. Hydraling Bane dancing around the map. 20 Hydras, 3 Infestors coming out. Lurkers being added. SERRAL's got a big army. The ghost count is still only 3. I mean, there's mass commands and a fusion core. If he gets to range lib and ghosts, Clem could stabilize with some planetaries. But right now, it's like I said, SERRAL's got 30 Banes. He's got Lurkers, Hydras, everything else. Clem's eco is looking fantastic now, but he's still mostly on Marine Marauder. A handful of mines, sprinkling a ghost, no tanks to anchor against Hydra Bane Lurker is terrible. Clem likes to play this more mobile style, but he doesn't have a lot of ghost energy yet. He needs time. He really needs time. And look at this, Nidus Worm coming in. Okay, he's going to send the Banshees to deal with it. Got to be careful. Overseer sneaking into the back door is going to be a problem to clean up with. He's going to send a few Marines to track it. SERRAL is taking so much time. If this was anyone but SERRAL, I would be really on his case about this. I'd be like, dude, you've had an advantage. You've had a good game. Go finish the game. Don't let Clem get to late game. He's the god of late game. This is SERRAL. SERRAL is a god of late game. I know that there was a game in the World Championship that shook everyone's belief in SERRAL. It was Amphion, I think it was called. That map was a disaster for ZVT late game. And yes, Clem wrecked him in it, but it was a very good map for Terran against Zerg in late game. Still don't know who's favored between these two. Once we go to the latter stages, he's got a lot of tools right now, does SERRAL. 3 Infestors. He's got to burrow those, spread those out on the map. He's got Nidus Worms distracting with a bunch of Lurkers loaded up. He does have a Spire coming in as well. Once the range lib count gets to a good number, I do worry that Hydras won't cut it. Hydras, whilst a more versatile unit than a Corruptor, pale in comparison to a Corruptor when it comes to a head-to-head fight against libs. Hydras cannot beat libs, whereas of course Corruptors can. Now Microbial Shroud might change that equation, but pretty rare you see someone pull that off. Infestor sneaks by, gets scanned. 1 Infestor down. 1 on the high ground here. 1 over there on the high ground as well. Oh, that Infestor gets scanned as well. He's aware. Clem's on high alert. Yeah, there's another one on the left though. He's got to be careful. Got to be careful. Oh, SERRAL, he's hunting. He's hunting right now. Building armor, +3 armor. Caduceus, Cloak for Ghost. All of the little bits of tech are coming in. And as time goes on, SERRAL is 5,000 resources behind, and he hasn't really mined out any of the forward bases. He's got to get something done. He's going to go for it. Hydraling Bane tries to roll forward. Bio flanking in from multiple sides. There is an Infestor on that right side of our screen. I don't know if that's going to come into play at all here. The Hydra Bane does not take out the planetary. A disastrous engagement for SERRAL. This is what I'm talking about. You don't want to give Clem that much time, but he's going to chase. Is that a mistake for Clem? I think it is. I think pulling back is the better call. Infestor still lurking, but with no army to support it, I don't know what else he can get. More command centers are building right now. We've got that Nidus on that right side, +3 range, +2 melee. Flyer attack upgrades coming in as well. Marine Marauder Medevac dancing. Gonna try and pull back on the north. Oh, the Banelings! Oh, okay. Does get a decent connection. The bio pulls back. Nidus Worm does pop somewhere. I think it's on the bottom right. Lurker's gonna move forward there. Lingbane Hydra comes in. He lands a fungal. He's got to focus the Medevacs though. But he gets inside the Medevacs, which means he will escape. The planetaries though will get taken out. But all the ghosts survive. Clem extracting the most important units from the dangerous part. I didn't realize he was playing Tarkov or something. He's a bloody extraction shooter here. It's... Jeez. Got out with his most important loot intact. Does take 20 SCVs in a command center. That cheeky Infestor survives to live another day, but if that first fungal hit the ghosts before they got in the Medevacs, just a fraction of a second earlier, what a different engagement that would have been. Units lost time, still 5,000 in favor of Clem. But Clem's worker count's a bit lower. That being said, he's on 9 orbitals. I don't think he cares. 2 Vipers on the way, 2 more Infestors, another wave. SERRAL just shoving it right now. He feels like he's got momentum. He wants to push now. Not enough libs to stop those Hydras in their tracks just yet. Banshees are finally falling. Hydraling Bane does pull there. I thought he might click on that, but he's afraid of getting ghost tagged. If he stops to shoot the planetary, all of his Hydras get sniped. New Nidus in the back door. Dude, he never dealt with it. He never dealt with it. 2 ghosts are over there. That's not enough to necessarily deal with it. He's going to send more units. CLEM, he's got to make sure he doesn't leave an opening in the back door. SERRAL is just remaxed on Hydraling Bane Infestor. He's got 2 Vipers and 3 Infestors as well. So SERRAL's basically saying, I'm just going to keep smashing you with Hydraling Bane. And if you can micro drone these corners up, that'll be really good. But look at this. Liberator's coming in. Very quick Spore response on that side. Lib's going to hit that side as well. SERRAL hasn't moved drones to the corners. And I do think that's one thing. He's been a little slow on this game. Clem's been toddling for the last 5 minutes. Could have been a little quicker on dealing with that. Vipers can just parasitic bomb this. Yeah, that's fine. Or even just sieges right there and goes down. Only +2 ship plating. No ship weapons upgrades. That one does go down to Hydras as well. Only 4 drone snipes. I don't think SERRAL cares about losing 4 drones. He's got bank for days. He's gonna... If he can maintain, you know, this ratio and mine both corners, he's fine. He's fine to win. Terran spends more money on infrastructure, command centers, sensor towers, turrets, these sort of things than Zerg. The problem is that their army gets way bigger than yours the longer the game goes, because they can afford to sack SCVs and just replace them with mules. One could argue Clem could actually be at this point only on 40 workers and it would be fine. He's still not dealing with the Nidus Worm. Now you could argue that's to slowly drain SERRAL's bank, 75 minerals and gas at a time, but seems like a pretty risky decision. Bio Ghost is going to defend on that side, but at the same time in the north, ooh, planetary going down, and these command centers are really valuable. If he can start to snipe command centers, that'd be big, but there's not that many Hydras up here. Did he burrow a Zergling? I don't think he managed to. There's turrets there. Lings will be getting taken out. 10 more SCVs have fallen, though. And it still feels like with the creep control where it's at, the bank, the amount of map control, Clem might crumble, especially with how much APM he's having to spend dealing with this Nidus Worm threat in the back. Changelings coming in from all sides. Fungal. Oh, the Infestor's there. Does he land it? Oh, he does land a pretty good Fungal. Parasitic Bomb goes down in the medevac as well, so even if you pick up into that, you might just go down. Banes gets some pretty good hits there. Oh, picks up at the last second. Clem with the slick micro. A couple of units do go down. 6,000 resources in Clem's favor. This is very acceptable trading for SERRAL. Still got another Infestor hidden. He's done a really good job of replacing these Infestors, guys. One up there, one down here. Clem just trying to weather the storm. I think he needs another planetary over here, and he needs to try to get another planetary down here as well. He's got planetary in the middle, does help anchor the position. A few Lings run in and die. Infestor sneaks by. Here we go, watch out! SERRAL's there. Another big Fungal does land. Nidus Worm was in the back distracting. He lands a big Fungal Baneling combo. Really effective. That's about as cost efficient as you're going to get as SERRAL here. Lings run in the north side, cleaning up turrets, cleaning up SCVs. There's no planetary, so he can afford to do this. Just a handful of Lings, almost no minerals, very little supply cost. And throwing Nidus Worm problems in the back as well. Still got the Overseer in the back door. I can't believe Clem has not just sent a Viking or a Lib to deal with that. I think it's crazy to me that he's left that in the back door. Lib's trying to move forward on the north. Massling Bane Hydra on the right. There's only 3 Infestors on the map right now. None of them are right here. Scans being used to cover himself. Yet another Nidus in the back door. Just uses his rally point to defend, does Clem. Uh-oh. Big attack on the front. Bio Ghost, kind of exposed. He's afraid of Fungal right now. Widowmine gets a decent shot. Second Widowmine gets another decent shot. The rest of the Banes pull back, but more sensor towers, turrets, 7 SCVs. Having to lift the base. Very costly. SERRAL has 16,000, 17,000 in the bank. More like 18,000, actually. Almost at 18,000. Clem is maxed with a giant army, but only 1,300 minerals in the bank. 16,000 more resources to burn. SERRAL finally mining these corners. Hasn't started mining the gas there. Might matter later in this game, but he's just going to bleed Clem dry. Clem's got a sick army. 21 goes, 14 lives, but remember that's 21 less army supply than it was on the previous patch. If this was the previous patch where the Ghosts weren't 3 supply, this would be 100. It would be 140 army supply. The Ducks coming in on those libs. Nice of Ducks into the Hydras. The Ling Bane chasing after the Ghosts. Widowmine lands a decent shot. Oh, that one's really nice as well. The Ghost running all the way home. This command center once again getting ransacked. 2 sensor towers next to each other. Woohoo, free discount kills. Let's go. Doesn't actually manage to take him out. Has to pull away because those snipes are so deadly. But here we go. +2 air armor's on the way as well. So SERRAL slowly adding those air upgrades. Does he upgrade his Spire? He doesn't. I think with no siege tanks doesn't really make sense. Infestor on the right side. He lands a decent little fungal. Catches a few Ghosts. And Infestor, of course, just staying in the open. SERRAL assumes he's dead. Finally burrows him and runs him away. Might even survive. As CLEM is mentally overloaded right now. This top side still vulnerable to Ling run bys. I'd love to see SERRAL continue to click Zerglings in there. Just run past the lib. Bottom right side going to be denied though. If CLEM can establish these 2 bases, he can drag this game out and drag his way back in. But look at this, still only 5,000 resources lost difference, so SERRAL's traded evenly, more or less with CLEM for the last 10 minutes in this game. That's huge. If you're trading evenly in this sort of bank disparity, that is game winning, right? He just needs to keep trading like this, and SERRAL will win the game long term. But he's having his mining start to clear up. CLEM will have more safe minerals to mine in these closer bases, which SERRAL's already almost mined out. This one, I guess, is still pretty fresh, as is this one. Hydras from the low ground, grab 2 sensor towers, and then run away. Nidus Worm in the back door. Some Lings will pop out here. Grabbing a couple of Marine kills. Really nicely played. Oh, decent Widowmine hit there. And SERRAL, nice spread at the last second to deactivate that one. Couple of abducts there. 2 libs go down. Dude, that's brilliant. That's so good. Dude, SERRAL's such a patient player. So much confidence in the late game. Hydra Ling Bane coming forward. The libs getting caught. Some of them weren't sieged. Some of them are sieged backwards. They're not sieged in the right direction, which means the Hydras are taking a surprisingly decent fight there. Whew. Only 8,000 resource loss difference, I'm telling you. This gap is barely widening. And you need a better ratio than that with the way this game's playing out. As CLEM's built bloody 11 orbitals. He's got mass commands. No. My computer's freezing up. This game's going too long. My computer's freezing up. Please don't crash. Looks like that was just a bit of a hitch. Fingers crossed. Hopefully my voice can survive as well after a long day casting. SERRAL, great creep spread, slowly choking him out, and he keeps grabbing the libs. The way he keeps rotating and finding the libs is huge, but those ones, he didn't really finish them off that time. He does need a bit more anti-air. 6 Hydras is not enough. He has a lot of Ling Bane. His Hydra count's very low. Liberator, Widowmine harass, denying SERRAL's mining in the north. Oh, this is so annoying. CLEM with 1 mine and 1 live is just being an ultimate D-bag. SERRAL needs to build more spores there. Meanwhile, establishing the southern base, Ultra Cavern, and more Banes on the way. He's building Corruptors! I talked to you guys about Corruptors against mass libs. I have ranted about this so much. I even talked to SERRAL about it in an interview we had. I was like, how do we feel about those Corruptors in late game? I've had so many people tell me Hydras are the better unit, and I've been hammering on about it. I'm like, they're more versatile, but in this situation, if you're not attacking into turrets, and he's cleared all the turrets out, the Corruptors will rinse this army. There's no turrets here because he has to move into the new bases. He's finally done. Obviously, I'm not saying he's doing it because I told him. Obviously, everyone does it in late game, but the number of games we've seen Zergs throw into mass lib by refusing to build Corruptors is crazy. I'm not taking responsibility, guys, to be clear. Fungal is there. Another Fungal! Another Fungal! Yes! Oh, SERRAL landing some sick Fungals. No, it's just one of those things players normally take too long to do. And because he's broken down the turret formation so well, the Corruptors are actually like perfectly timed. Because he let him get so entrenched, it was really hard to find an actual good window for Corruptors early, because this is a very turtled up game. But this is the perfect scenario. I mean, there are a few more turrets and Widow Mines now. SERRAL's getting his bases denied? If CLEM can just defend this base, mine it out, and then slowly crawl to this base without letting SERRAL mine from it, this is a real big problem. Remember, CLEM's up 40 army supply. Here we go, Mass Ling Bane, Viper Corruptors, SERRAL YOLOing right now. Corruptors with parasitic bombs will take care of the libs. The Ling Bane, will it take care of the ghosts? He doesn't have any overseers, which is a problem. A lot of those ghosts surviving. He does have a few overseers, but they were all over to the left side. That was the problem. They didn't chase the ghosts. Oh no. Oh no. CLEM just took an amazing defense, guys. That was sick. CLEM. pulled so far back. The Overseers went too far left. The Ghost spread in like a 270-degree arc. That was fantastic defense for CLEM. That was so good for him. He snipes 2 bases. You're kidding me. He does get 2 bases, saves some of the Marines, starts to pull back here. The Ghost's got to be careful. Are they too deep? He's got to reinforce. He's got to pull back to this position and defend. He's got to repair the command center. He's still mining mules. If CLEM can withstand the next wave, Serral spent a lot of resources on it. Serral still has 15 in the bank. Never mind. I mean, CLEM needs a few more fights like that to make this worthwhile. The Ghosts are clumped up. They need to pre-spread. They need to spread. They need to spread. The Widowmine looking for the big boom, but Serral splits it off to the right side with the Zerglings. Banes are in here. The lib count is gone. The Corruptors are doing so well. The command center is going to take some damage. It's burning. But Lingbane Corruptor has to pull back. The Ghost Marine dancing in and out, trying to survive his CLEM. He needs these minerals so bad. He's got minerals there. He's got a few minerals there, but it's this base is where most of his future income comes from. Marines go a little far forward. What's his lib count? This is the problem. Libs were the answer to the Infestors. The Hydras. They were good against the Banes. And now with this just handful of Corruptors, it's such a game-changing unit in late game. It's crazy how important it is against the range lib. Because the range lib feels so overpowered when Zerg doesn't build Corruptors, and then when Zerg builds Corruptors, it completely changes the dynamic of late game. Where suddenly the libs can cower behind turret Widowmine and be really good, but anytime they get caught in the open, they suddenly just don't trade that well. Okay, that was a pretty costly trade for Serral. 3 Corruptors, I think, for a lib, but didn't realize there were so many Widowmines there, of course. It's really trying to take this bottom right side base. CLEM? Supply is dangerously low. Remember that Serral can still remax. He's still got 56 lava available. Lings, Banes, Infestors tries to land a fungal. Only gets 1 ghost there. The Banes, though. The Banes are going after the Ghosts. He's going to continue forward there, but he's not going to get much. That is a very costly trade for Serral. It's the bottom side that gives him the value. Clears up the SCVs, the turrets, forces the command center to lift, gets the Widow Mines. He's now trading very inefficiently compared to earlier. He's at 14,000 deficit on the units lost. But if the next wave smashes this base again, and then he completely removes that position, it's all worth it. Problem, every time he's waiting to remax, CLEM kills a hatchery and a bunch of drones. Dude, CLEM is an absolute menace. He just won't go down. He won't go down. CLEM kind of has that Warhammer 40k orc energy. It's like he doesn't know he's dead, so he won't die. Like, it's like he just doesn't realize. He's like, nah. I've got to keep on fighting. And like, he just has too much wah, you know? He's got that friggin' orc energy where he believes that he can't die and therefore he can't die. I don't know how you take this belief away from him, but you have to find a way. Dude, he can't afford turrets or scans because he's muling these Infestors sneaking into his back door right now. Widowmine Marine drop up there being annoying. Widowmine down here kills a few drones. He snipes another hatchery. Serral right now is looking for the fungal to end all fungals. But CLEM is really well spread. He knows if he holds this base, he will be able to survive. If he can mine this base out long term, Serral's income's drying up a little bit. Serral's down on income right now. His minerals are all starting to disappear. He can't secure the corner. He can't secure this one. Here we go. Massive Lingbane Ultra Charge. Oh, Widowmine got blown up by Banelings. There was a manual detonation. Parasitic Bomb Corruptors cleaning up the libs. The Ultra Bane chasing after those ghosts. And if he can clear this base down the bottom, it's going to be massive. Corruptors killing so many libs. The Corruptors are getting so much value. And the Banelings didn't die. They actually come back. And Massling in the north is going to defend there as well. Oh, wow. This is massive. Can he get the command center? He might even get the command center. There's an Infestor here. Does get scanned. The Infestor's going to get sniped. Snipe does go down on it. Snipes on the Corruptors as well. 20 SCVs go down. Oh, Serral overcommitted with those Corruptors. Didn't even get the command center. He loses almost all of his Corruptors. He's now down 16,000 resources in the units lost. This is insane. Ling's trying to chase after. Double Drop's going to go north. Spore Crawler's there. He gets a dropship. CLEM is broke. He's on 7 SCVs. But he does still have mass orbital. No gas income, though. Dude, he's out of gas. He's got gas here. He needs to put SCVs on this purple gas immediately. If he can get that purple gas and then just keep muling, maybe? He's got so little gas income. But Serral's got another remax. He's so rich! Serral is as rich as they come, and he will not be perturbed. Massling Bane, Corruptor remax. What a brilliant play. Massling Bane rolling over the ghosts. He's defending the top left just barely at the same time. You can see there's a bit of bio there, actually. He's going to kill the base. But look at this. 2 command centers going down. The entire area being cleared. Only a handful of Marauders and Ghosts are there. You can kill Serral's hatchery, but he's already got so much bank. And he's putting CLEM's supply down in the dumps. Mass Snipe does punish that Ultra as it does accidentally path in the wrong direction. But if the Corruptors get up here, this dropship has no way home. Widowmine gets a decent hit. Oof, 13 kills, very nice. Where are the Corruptors? Bottom right side. Hiding those Corruptors, making sure the Ghosts can't snipe on. Clem going to desperately drop some mules on the north side. He's on his last legs. It's just pure Marine production right now. And Clem will not go down. SERRAL is going to have to chop his head off. He's going to have to chop his head off and start beating him unconscious. I don't know, with his own arm or something. Rip his arm out of his socket, knock him unconscious with it. Maybe the way to convince Clem that he's dead is to rip his own arm off and use his own greatness against him, right? Then he'll be like, wait, my arm's super strong. Therefore, if you hit me with my arm, then it can kill even me. Corruptor Viper hanging out there. Ling will get picked off by the Widowmine. Ling Bane Ultra round 17. Let's go! SERRAL at almost double the army supply. Corruptor Viper looking good. Parasitic Bomb! Oh, the dropship's getting hammered with no medevacs left. The Lib's facing the wrong direction. A handful of Bio Ghosts there. Command Center goes down, and that is a brilliant play. Dude, it's crazy. Because I've had games where I run Corruptors into turrets and they get killed, but SERRAL picked this timing to swap into the Corruptors when he saw that there was like 15 Libs on the map. Everything was hinging on those Libs, ruining the ground army. And he pivoted away from the Hydras at the perfect time. He also got more wasteful with his army at the perfect time. Where if he didn't, he could have let this base mine for a few minutes, and Clem could have built a bank, build extra layers of defense. It would have got out of control. He knew he needed to start trading more aggressively, and he did it just right. Infestor's coming down. Not many Zerglings there. I think even with a Fungal, I don't think that's enough Zerglings, but... Hey, Adrenal Glands, Infestor, Fungal, very nice. Adrenal Glands giving those Zerglings a big boost, and Clem is finally going to accept defeat as he goes below 69 supply, and he has to tap out. SERRAL, Sandpaper Zerg, does it again, doesn't rush it. I thought he was ahead from about 8 minutes in this game. He spends the next 25 minutes grinding his opponent down like any true craftsman would. Beautiful game there. GG. Well played. SERRAL's going to force a game 7. All right. It's all going to come down to this. Game 7 on torches. Top right for Clem. Bottom right for SERRAL. I think this map's really good for a frontal Terran push. We saw SERRAL struggle really hard early on this map pool against Cure in, I think it was Pigfest. There was a push going down the right or the middle of this map, one of these sides, and SERRAL just could not deal with it. And only won because he had hidden base in the top left corner for that entire game. So I actually, after watching that game, I kind of went, ooh, this map's really hard to stop frontal pushes. We'll see what's in store for us here. SERRAL is going for a 15-15. So 15 hatchery before Overlord, guys. Builds another drone, so he does 2 extractor tricks. Then he gets the Overlord out and spawning pool next on 15 supply as well. This is going to rush 2 queens out, but you can't do this and rush Ling Speed at the same time. Now, of course, there's no Reaper Ledge on this map. Well, technically there is, but it only leads into the natural expand, not into the main, right? There's no Reaper Ledge over here. This is all cut off. You can't move through the minerals. So as a result, you're not as worried about 2-Rax Reaper on this map. SERRAL's happy to skip the Ling Speed. The question for me is, does he go for a quick third? And if so, I mean, I feel like this forward third sucks. It's very hard to defend. There's all this nice terrain for Marine tank pushers to work around. You really want to expand to the bottom left corner normally. So if he does go for that, does he feel like doing the no Ling Speed into the third and defend with roaches? Potentially a risky build. Oh, this is kind of choked up. Roaches out here can defend these 2 entrances pretty well. I wonder how greedy SERRAL wants to go. And does he try to mix in some aggression here in game 7? Clem, I expect to try to stabilize. I think he'll probably go 2-1-1. He might go like 3cc 2-1-1. He might go Banshee though. Hellion Banshee, another build. One of those 2 stable ones that he just does over and over again, right? Now, of course, we do have the Guardians at the entrance to your base here, guys. You can see the eyes flash on and off on these things. I don't know what they're meant to be, but it's kind of funny. You guys know what that is? Let me know, because I would think it's like, you know, like a gargoyle, like a sphinx type looking thing, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't really know what creature that's supposed to be. If it's even supposed to be a creature. Ooh! Does go for the extractor trick. And another one to save those drones. 2 Lings are moving out across the map. Clem spotted it with his SCV though. Drones cancel, go back. And it is going to be a quick third, but on the right side. So he is going to play the no ling speed build, but take the right side third base. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. If you get spores on that right side, you can cut him off from dropping your main base. So it's kind of easier to defend drops, but it could be harder to defend some frontal pushes, is the downside that SERRAL may have to deal with. This map could be a good candidate for a Roach. A couple of Infestors, Detect a Hive, but don't go into Ling Ultra, go into Lurkers. This could be a good candidate for a Lurker, you know, Lurker Viper transition off of Roaches. See how it goes. Second Barracks comes in, yeah, 2-on-1. One of Clem's most stable and reliable builds against SERRAL. Reaper dancing. Extra Queen comes in, so that's going to be, how many Queens is that? 3, fourth one building. Roach Warren goes down at 325. Clem sees it. No, he doesn't. Doesn't actually get to the middle point where he can see the high ground. Good activity, though, with the Reaper. Clem's so good at staying active with that Reaper. Overlord comes in, sees everything he needs to know. Oh, yeah, you're doing a 2-on-1 and gets back to safety. Great scouting on both sides. What have Protoss players been doing today again, Pig? I've been getting pinged, says Angrath. Oh, hello, Angrath. Estrella missed a really easy force field and let a whole bunch of Marauders up his ramp. And I was like, he chucked the Angrath. And then I was like, well, actually, he only missed by a few pixels with the force field. So I was like, it wasn't really an Angrath. Like, it wasn't comically misplaced. It was tragically misplaced, which I guess is kind of close enough. But I was like, you know, always telling the story of Angrath, our Diamond Protoss player that missed the force field by half a screen. I like the drone here, so he can full wall if he needs to, but he only wants to do it as the Hellions try to run in. And you can see why this opening's safe. The only way in, guys, is here or here. And he can even Evo chamber that side. Traumatized. Guys, SERRAL is so traumatized from Ultra Love that he has 2 drones on standby. Okay, now he's not bothering to be on standby on this side anymore. But he's like, I am not letting Hellions in my base. Ultra Love was a disaster. Never again. I would like to see him pull his Overlords back. I do think leaving a few of these Overlords out could give a bit too much value to the medevacs when those Marines do arrive. Engineering Bay goes down. Third Barracks coming in. He's going to swap that on this reactor. You don't want to keep building medevacs because otherwise you'll end up with like 6 medevacs and only 20 Marines. So, good attention to detail. Second eBay for Clem as well. Carapace nice and fast for SERRAL. Combat shield starting. There we go. Double drop finds its first Overlord. I think that's the first of many, just looking at the positioning. SERRAL, uncharacteristically sloppy with these Overlords, guys. This is not the value you want to be giving Clem's first pressure. Alien Reaper comes in the right side. Drone, not watching. Oh, okay, he does get the Evo chamber down. Looks like the Roach Queen should defend. The Overlord actually survives there. SERRAL would like to respread creep. Clem's like, okay, I'll take the free Overlord. Thank you for the value deal, good sir. You don't want to leave that wall off up because you want to be able to freely move around. Roach speed's going to be done soon, and a single Roach will hold the wall on the left side. 1-1 starts for Terran, but it's pretty late. That's a pretty big delay. 6 minutes for 1-1. Meanwhile, Carapace is almost halfway done, so SERRAL's got a good upgrade lead on the most important upgrade. Even though, of course, his melee will be behind. He's going to go Ling speed. Oh, Infestation's going to go down right now. Hellion does manage to sneak in. I think SERRAL's about to drop an Infestation pit. I would love to see it. Just rush those Ultras out like crazy, maybe. He could do a Roach Ling all-in with the Carapace. 63 drones. Oh my gosh, he is! He's doing it. Clem realizes, though. Clem saw too many Roaches. He realizes. This is what beat him in Game 7 of Pigfest 5. SERRAL got him with this same sort of attack and just surprised him. It was a lower worker attack, an even more shocking one. Double bunker goes down. SERRAL is going to see the bunkers, and he's immediately going to back out of this. He'll go left, try to break these depots. He knows he can't break the front. Medevac sees it, though. Clem scouting with the Medevac so well. He's going to rotate his whole army over there. Oh, dude. SERRAL, I think, needs to mass economy. He fakes left, goes back to the right, finishes breaking the rocks. His Overseer needs to go forward. Then he can maybe get one of these tanks, but look how safe the tanks are for Clem. Oh, here we go. Here we go. He's going to pull the SCVs. SCVs get pulled. Massive all in for SERRAL. He's going for the bust. He does not want to play late game against the world champion. Biles coming forward. Roach Ravager is going to kill a lot of SCVs, but the tanks are shredding that Roach line. A few of the Biles land on the friendly fire. He does push forward, but he only gets one tank. I think he needed to pull back after the SCV kills. Ooh, SERRAL tries to force it and only gets one more tank for his troubles. The Queens are there on the front line, though. Queens will push back the Marines, allowing him to at least maintain position. But with no infestation pit and 2 tanks surviving, is that enough for CLEM? He's lost 21 workers. His 1-1's going to finish. His 1-1's going to finish. That's a big, big change. Big difference maker. Ooh, a couple Roaches getting focused for a few Marines. CLEM fighting away from his tanks, though. Very dangerous. But anytime those tanks add just 1 or 2 shots, it's so worthwhile. Creep on the front looking really good right now for SERRAL. Queen's adding a bit of damage as well. If he can engage with creep spread in range of the tanks and then tank the first volley with the Queens, it will be really good for SERRAL. You can tell CLEM, he kind of wants to scan here, but he doesn't want to waste it. Oh, this is so scary for CLEM right now. 4 tanks, 27 Marines, but SERRAL does feel like he's kind of all in. Oh, look at this. He's going to run in. Sniper Ravagers. Oh, that's a sick move. He's going to move this Overseer further forward. Those Ravagers are going to have to run away. The Marines are going to go hunting, trying to catch them. Good evasion here by SERRAL. Rich Ravager trying to fight the Marines on their own. Getting himself a few Marines. Forces the Marines to pick up. Runs forward, takes a bile. I think he needs to shift-click those tanks, though. SERRAL not shift-clicking the tanks, not landing the transfuses either. A lot of Roach Ravager goes down. Oh, a lot of Marines do fall. 6 more SCVs. He could bile the workers as well. SERRAL could transition from this. He's going to go +1 range. I'd love to see him build a round of drones. He's very, very all in the way he's playing this. And with 2-2 on the way, it feels kind of desperate. He adds a second Evo. That could definitely help a lot here. Question is, what is the transition? Is it Hydras, Lurkers, Vipers? Is it Infestation Pit for Fungal and Ultras? I don't know what the best chance is. CLEM, though, is stabilizing. His worker count getting close. A couple of Marines do get picked off. SERRAL still acting scary. And these tanks have to stay in such a safe position with this creep spread out here. Ravager, going to be very annoying. Dropping some deep biles, potentially. And he does just, does deny some stuff. With no Fungal, the Marines can always run forward to get a catch. The Roach Ravager very clumped up. Does drop some biles. Forces the SCVs off the line. Decent engage for SERRAL as long as he doesn't overcommit into the tanks. +2 Carapace does begin for SERRAL with the second Evo. He's still building Roach Ravager Zergling, though. If he could sneak a bunch of Roaches around the left, maybe bust those depots, get some value that way. This is a tough one. Burrows coming in. Maybe thinking about tunneling claws. 4 more drones are building. If he has Fungal or Vipers, one of those is going to be the units that allows him to crush the counter push. With neither of those, there's not much chance. Infestation goes down now. I love this run by. Mass Roach run by. Burrow will allow him to heal up all these wounded Roaches later on. Does get 2 depots. Not crazy damage by any means. Let's see, a supply drop heals up that depot, puts out the fire, while 2 more depots do come down as well. Roaches are going to run straight back in, but there is a tank covering it this time. No Ravagers to bile across that wall off. The Marine tank's out of position, though, so he definitely could be annoying. He's going to take down this depot. Got a pretty good army on the right side to zone out still. Takes out a couple of depots, and can see SERRAL's kind of happy to trade some Roaches. The Infestors are finally coming. Starts 3 Infestors, 4 Infestors, cancels 1, makes a Hive. Makes a Baneling Nest as well. The Infestors are just trying to allow him to survive. Remember, he has to give this base up. So I think he needs to take that bottom left corner. He's going to have to give this base up. This is not enough for a Ravager to defend. Massive biles. The Medivacs eat the biles. But it's not enough, not without Fungal here. The rest of the Roaches come back, but they eat tank shots as they come around the corner. The Lings come in a little bit late to the party. Lings are really good against the tanks, though. The Lings starting to get on top of those tanks. The Ravagers, can they defend? SERRAL holds on. If he can clear the tanks, that's it. That's massive. He holds the push. He gets rid of both tanks. No, one of the tanks barely survives. The other tank does land there. 3 Marauders, 22 Marines. The Infestors are coming. The Fungal gets spotted, though. CLEM should be able to dodge these since he's aware that they're there. Only 59 workers. 4th Command Center floating forward. CLEM expanding towards SERRAL. SERRAL starts +2 range. Dude, this is crazy hectic right now. That tank getting repaired by a single SCV. A few SCVs repairing the other one as well. He just attacked his own bio there. Not sure what happened. Infestors looking for the catch. Ravagers. Oh, SERRAL does queue up some Fungals, but oh, the SCVs just saved that tank from the triple bile. Fungal a little bit slow to the party there. Serral, he sees the Marines are a bit exposed. He tries to go for it. But Clem, beautiful micro, and only one tank goes down. Only one Fungal remaining. Hive Tech, not going to be that effective. Like I said, Serral needed to take the 4th and give this base up. The moment there's a frontal push, I don't think you can defend this base because it's just such a compromised area to engage. But he's going to try and get in there with Tunneling Claws. Fungal Bile could be nice, but it does feel like Serral's Fungals are just always slightly too late, a little too telegraphed. Kind of needs to send the Infestor in first. I mean, it's so hard under pressure, though. Roaches trying to tunnel into the main and natural right now. Infestors, some big Fungals could land. That tank getting very far forward. The intensity of Clem, it's just so hard to match. But he's got Roaches in the main and the natural. Dude, if only he wasn't getting hammered on the front at the same time. Serral maybe could jump forward and get some of these tanks. Roaches in the natural. Doing some nice micro around here. He's going to do some burrowing in the main, picking off Marines and SCVs willy-nilly. These Roaches will manage to escape. They take a tank shot, but they do escape the scan to heal up and fight another day. Same time on the front. 3 Infestors, a bunch of Ravagers and Roaches hanging out on the defense. 15 Ravagers take up a lot more supply than their actual combat stats really stand for, though. 3 supply per Ravager. They are not really worth that. And without something to deal with this, it's going to be tough. And now the tanks take position. No Broodlords, no Ultras on the way. He's broke. 56 workers. Serral has to make it work with this army. Ravagers and Biles just not landing. Roaches in the 3rd base. Dude, Clem's economy is butchered. Clem just can't stabilize against this. He's trying to shove his way up the ramp. The Ravager Infestor, though, defending this angle near impossible. Those Ravagers, they wanted to come from behind, but he accidentally clicks them back to his army. He needs those to loop in from here. If he looped those Ravagers around, it could be really effective, but Serral accidentally clumps them in the midst of the multitasking. Roaches unburrow. It looks like the ones that 3rd got taken out. These ones, will they be able to take out the tank? Yes, they will at the same time. Biles come down, 2 libs and a bunch of medevacs fall. Oh, this is actually a huge fight for Serral, but these tanks in the back, can he get rid of them? The Ravagers running forward. A couple of tanks do go down. 1 Fungal on this Marine Marauder would be really nice, but he can't quite get up there. The tank's still covering him. Reinforcements coming in. Biles are spread across the line, but only a few of them do land. The Infestors have been cleared out. Only 1 Infestor left. Serral fighting like a champion with Fungal, with Roaches, with Ravagers, with Lings. But Clem is just not to be stopped. He's got a gold base on the front. And even though his work account got ravaged, that gold base gives him too much income, and Serral cannot withstand the avalanche. What a way to finish it off. Clem holds on against the avalanche of Roach Ravagers Urgling aggression on that 3rd base. Creep spread on his doorstep. Those tanks barely keeping alive on the back line. He holds firm, he holds strong, and he withstands Serral's aggression. I do think maybe there was a moment where obviously we get to see all the numbers, the players don't. After the first wave killed 20 workers, if Serral pulled back there might have been a perfect moment. Let me show you. I think this is actually like the perfect disengage timing. I know that because I can see 20 SCVs are dead. I see that you don't have enough to actually get on top of the tanks. And I know you kind of want to fight now because you've got the double upgrade advantage. But I actually think that this part of the fight just is not good. I don't think we really kill much. And we lose a lot of Roaches and Ravagers here. And we don't really kill... I think we kill 1 tank. So that part of the fight, I think, was really bad for us. That's my feeling. I think if he started droning there, going Infestors, split some Roach Ravager to the left to start picking these depots, still holds this position and just keeps biling the base and making it impossible for him to mine properly, pick off the Assimilator, I think he can just expand to it. Like, these bases down here, take Infestors, go towards Broods or something like that. But that's what happens if you're very calm and you're just taking a deep breath and you see everything. Obviously, for the players, it's a lot more intense than that. But as it is, Clem holds on, manages to survive, and weathers the storm. GG, well played.